in this next experience, this experience I had maybe a couple weeks ago, but again, the setting was Mexico, and I was there on the real side, and I was in this house. It was this, from what I can recall, it was something like a lavish kind of house, and I was at this very long kind of table, and I had this immediate impression because how the experience started, I was viewing myself from a bird's eye view, you might say. I'm objective. I'm looking at myself or the body, one of the personal selves on the real side, and I'm sitting at the head of the table, at not the far end, but the close end. And as I'm looking at myself, this man comes around and he's wearing this very intricately designed shirt, something you'd see from like a designer brand or one of these kind of things. And he comes around the table and he sits on my left-hand side. And I knew as soon as he sat down, he wanted to talk business. And I had this impression just from not only the way that he dressed, but just his character and speech patterns and different things. And it was a recognition. And I seen that he was some sort of cartel member or like a boss or something like that, that he was of some importance or some standing in this community or whatnot. And when he was talking to me, he was explaining, or he was sharing, that he did not want to be a part of this anymore. Now, in the physical, it might be a little different. You know, they have their personal self and the attitudes with all their bodies, but this awareness that he had, that he was starting to see that the sum total of his lifestyle and the choices he was making was adding up to nothing, and it actually kind of scared him. And so he was looking for something else. And so there I was on the real side presenting this opportunity to him, and he was really adamant on wanting to take part in some way. He said to me that he did not know what way to begin or what way to take part. And I was just sharing with him, almost like I pulled out like a paperwork or like a file, I'm like, I was showing him all these different things that I did not personally recall, but I was showing him these different things that he could do, or the opportunities and the little risks he could take to get this going for himself and to be a part of what we're doing here. And so I thought that was interesting as well, that these individuals, again, like DUANE had said at the beginning of the Skype, good, bad, or indifferent, their awareness and this part of them, this real part of them, sees what we're doing, and they really want to be a part of it, and they really want to do this, but it's just getting through all that muck and all that other stuff, and then things start to become clear. So just thought that was another interesting experience I wanted to share with everybody. So thank you.
Okay, that's really good, Jeremy. Yeah, it's important. And so again, here we need the knowledge and information to help us focus, to help us understand. And here's the hint from this individual, and I see this too. The cartel down here has a lot of stuff. They own the toll road, they own construction projects, they do the avocado industry and a lot more. They're into everything, just like the mafia was into cement and buildings and all these things and protection in the United States, and plus a lot more, plus into the government, etc. It's all the mafia. But they are into that too. But there is a side of them that they do care, and I see that also as our presence is known here, and we're showing something that makes sense with survival, because they're aware too of how the governments are and how things are being destroyed. So they're struggling at the same time to keep their position, and they don't know how to do it because they're set into their position. Now, your position there at the head of this, what you described as a big rectangle table or whatever, that's like in a board meeting, it's a business table, is what it represents. Okay. So here, this is a business world, and it's doing business, it's making deals. And that's the whole idea. So they see you, okay, as a particular. And again, I see the Mexicans as just awesome. They are. And there's a worldwide survey to where the Mexicans are basically the most humble people around. Yeah. they truly are getting to them. The sincerity of them is really great. And I continually look at the farmlands here. This has been a perfect setup for us and all the openness and the lands here to start this project, to do the Sunrise New Trail, to do all the things that we're to do, bring in hydroponics and dig wells and show people that they don't need poisons and stuff like this, and better diets and intuitive therapy, etc. Whatever it takes to help them along to see their green visions and whatever, to become more aware. And this is a great place to do it. Wow, you can collect rainwater here without being arrested like you would in the United States. If you collect rainwater, they arrest you. There's even a law. How ridiculous. And so again, yeah, there's funny things that happen down here. I won't mention them on the recording here, but there's a lot of funny stuff. But at the same time, there's something very real here, and that's open and that's available if it's, if people want to step up and take the risk to take part of it. So the protection comes from, like we were told in the old spiritual past, but it really comes from taking the risk, not just sitting there and thinking that, oh my gosh, Mexico's a bad place or whatever. People don't realize, Americans don't realize, the biggest criminals run the United States government, and everything that's going on there, they're going to fry people with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10G, whatever. It's a lot worse there, but people do not see it. So it's all about seeing and being. And so I like the risk adventure. I like the challenge. It's been a big challenge to try and get the funding because I've been blocked, etc. But I have so many good sources, and they're constantly showing up. Rebazar and Paul are constantly bringing things in as people agree and go back and forth and disagree, etc. It's a roulette wheel game, but I keep at it, and I've got so much agreement from people. And I've met a lot of really neat people down here, really cool people that have given me a lot of information about the place, and the demographics of the ideas that exist. And I know the cartels all over, and at some point I'm going to face them. If you're here, maybe you're going to face them too, whatever. But again, yeah, they're aware, they see what's going on, and they want to make a deal. And so that's why we're here. I'll make the deals to where, it works out for everybody, to where they don't have to do the old business. They can do something new to help everybody. And so we just simply keep pushing forward like the real guides do, no attitudes. And again, this is where, we don't need attitudes. We don't need to bring attitudes, especially to the people that are stepping up and singing the new you, good, better, and different, or whatever they're doing in their personal lives. That's their life. But when they step up here, and if the Kellum God is here, we're going to sing new you with him. That's it. And then he's going to go back and then blow up a bunch of buildings. Well, fine. That's his personal life. I'm not into that. I'm into staying focused till we'll eventually, let's see who follows. Let's see who, steps forward and gets real with what we're doing here. Because again, who else is doing it? Look around you. Who else? There's only a few of us. Who else is making sense of what's going on here and all the nonsense? And you see all these things. Go on Facebook or YouTube and see all these different videos and all the stuff people are doing that looks really cool. It all equals nothing, because it has nothing to do with your real awareness. Yeah, and shining like the sun. That is endless. And we can do it. Who will step up? Yes, thank you, Jeremy. Very, very important.